Okay, so welcome everybody to today's presentation. Just a few housekeeping rules while we're getting started. If you could just keep yourselves on mute and then unmute to ask any questions, or if you feel more comfortable want to use the text chat, you can. So I would like to welcome and thank our guest speaker today, Amy Ryan of Superior Socials. So Amy has a wealth of knowledge in the social media industry. Her experience includes managing social media for both businesses and individuals. With a passion for growing audiences and a strong brand voice, Amy's goal is to help small business thrive on their socials. So welcome, Amy.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity. So as Lori said, my name is Amy and I run a social media management company called Superior Socials. For you, those of you who don't know what that is, Superior Socials helps small businesses run their social media, which can be quite time consuming. But in doing so, my real passion underlying everything is helping small businesses thrive. I was just speaking with Lori before we came on about a number of small businesses that are struggling. And so any way that I could help them is really rewarding to me. So I'm going to get into my slideshow here. And I also, when I did a trial run with my daughter last night, noticed the slides were a little bit blurry. So if that's the case for you, I'm more than happy to send it out. My contact details will be on the last slide. Send me an email or reach out to me on social media and I'll be happy to send you the PDF because there's a lot of good information in these slides. So I'm going to go right ahead to share my screen and I will get going. Alrighty, here we go. So social media strategies for small businesses. So my goal is to help you elevate your presence online. You may find that social media really stresses you out, but once you kind of have a plan to it and you are able to approach it with some kind of concrete idea of what you want to accomplish, it makes it so much easier. It's how I manage myself. It's how I'm able to manage 4 or 5 different social media accounts at once for different clients. Each client has their goals. Each client, I know what their voice is like, what they want to put out. We have discussions about that. And so you kind of do the same for yourself. Social media is something that is here. It's not going away. It's not a passing fad. So it's really important to remember that all of your customers are going to be on social media. And quite often, this is how businesses will find potential new clients. So don't ever underestimate the importance of your social media strategy and your socials when you are online. Effective social media is an important component for businesses looking to build an engaging presence online, because it allows you to connect with a target audience and increase brand awareness to people who are in their own homes, people who don't even have to step out of their house. They are finding out about you and what you have to offer. And the good news about social media is it's free. Cost-wise, it's free, but when you factor in time, it could actually end up eating up quite a bit of your time if you don't have processes in place or a set strategy to follow. But there is no way that you will reach more customers outside of social media. There are 4 concrete steps that I'm going to discuss today about how you can elevate your social media brand. Number 1 is you want to optimize your bio, which means that when somebody hits your page online, it's going to be like an advertisement for you. They're going to understand how you benefit them. Your bio is not about you. Your bio is about how you can benefit them. And that one little switch turns your bio into an advertisement for your business. I'm going to talk about developing your brand voice. Developing your brand voice means that when somebody thinks of you, they think of you in a concrete way. They think of what your messaging is, what your values are, and what you represent. Creating content that resonates. We don't always want to be in a situation where it's just sell, sell, sell. We want to provide value to your potential customers and have them in the forefront of their mind. They might not purchase at the moment, but they keep you in mind for potential purchases in the future. And community building. If I could recommend one thing, you're not able to post a lot, engage with other accounts. Engage with accounts that you are in your niche, engage with accounts that you want as potential customers, show them that you're there and support. Make sure you respond to messages that show up on your feed. Just be present and show that you're supportive. So social media has become a part of our everyday life. And there's no denying that. It has changed the way that businesses operate. There are 4.86 billion users across social media platforms, and that's a really large audience when you stop to think about it. It's created an opportunity for people like myself and for you to reach a worldwide audience, and it can make or break a business. Are you ready to get started? I am, so let's go. Number one, here's a little diagram that I've created from my bio that's on Instagram, illustrating how you can optimize your bio. So the first step is to state your name and what you do. So your personal name, not your company name, because what your company name is already going to be stated as the name of your social media account. You don't need to repeat that. It's more important to state, so I have Amy Ryan and then social media manager for small business. I'm describing what I do because when people want to search for social media manager, it's searchable like that when it's in your bio. And then the next step is to state how you benefit your clients. So as you can see, if a client comes to my page, they're seeing 3 ways that I can help them. I can help them crush their socials. So you try to use verbs that will resonate. And for me, my goal was to make it kind of fun. I help them by freeing up their time, and I help them by creating community. I changed that from about what me and how it benefits me to them and how I can be useful to them. The next step is to do a link to your website if you have one. If not, some people have their LinkedIn bios where they have a number of options. For myself personally, I find that the less clicks somebody has to do, the better. So I chose just to have my superiorsocials.ca in my link. They just click that. It takes them to my website where all my other links will be. If you give them too many options, a lot of times they won't bother taking that extra step. As you see across the bottom, there's I have tips, testimonials, and work with me. Those are my highlight reels, but I use them as ads for my business. I'm very, very particular about what I put in my highlight reels. So for me, if you want to work with me, it's clear right there. You can click on it. You want to see what other customers thought when they worked with me, you can click my testimonials and you will see them right there. And then I also am very passionate about providing tips for other entrepreneurs. So that was the third highlight reel I decided to have across the top of the page. I may add one more in the future if I need to, but I don't want to be at a point where they have to be scrolling through all the highlights. I focused on what I find most important, what I wanted my potential customers and clients to see, and how I thought they would get a good idea about who I am. So your bio is your first impression. You want to make sure that it pulls them in and that it's actually your billboard. So I'm going to just go to my next step here. So that's the first most important step, create that great first impression. Next is developing your brand voice. What's a brand voice? It's how you want to present yourself to the world. It's not so much about your brand, or I'm sorry, about your logo and your colors. As you can see, my brand, Superior Socials, that's my business. I have a logo that incorporates a wave into it. My colors are blue, shades of blue. I obviously love Lake Superior very, very much. So that is why I chose those colors, but that's not all that is. That is more logoing. So what you want to think about when you're asking how to develop a brand voice is, how do you want your customers to feel when they see your pages? What are your brand values? What's important to you? What are your goals? What tone do you want to have? The tone for my page is, I want it to feel relaxing. I want to feel relatable. I want it to be approachable. And also I want it to have the calm that I feel when I go by Lake Superior. Know your audience, know who you're talking to, and adjust your voice accordingly. So I'm talking to small businesses, so my voice is going to be an authority on social media and how I can help those businesses. And does your personality show? For me, my personality is very well known. I have social media pages about loving Lake Superior. That's very evident on my page. Outside of the information that I portray, I also want to get that Zen feeling of the lake. So make sure that your voice reflects who you are. Some will have playful, some will be like an authority. Some want to seem like they're, very relatable. So make sure that you pick the brand voice and that it's consistent across all platforms, or there are different ways you'll use the platforms, but you want to make sure that it's consistent across all of them. Step 3 is create content using content pillars. So content pillars help to keep your feed organized. It helps you plan, and it makes it a lot easier in the grand scheme of things when you're trying to come up with a schedule. You want to cover all of your bases. So a lot of pages that I see are sell, sell, sell. And personally, when they're not offering any value to me, I'm not really interested in following along much further. I want to know how they can benefit me and what value they offer to me. So each week I try to have all 4 of these on my feed. So number 1, it's entertain, make them laugh. So I've created this reel, as you see there, work on a reel 4 hours and get 1 like. It's something that we all as business people can relate to, but it got a good giggle. And it also got a lot of shares. And when people share that, it helps them discover your page when they look back to see where it was shared from. Educate, give them something of value, give them a reason to come back. For me, I have Tuesday tips. Every Tuesday I put a tip out. I know my educate base is always covered and I'm providing value to the customer. Number 3 is inspire. So you want to post things that will make your clients or customers feel good about themselves. For myself, I do that in a couple of ways. A lot of my clients like Motivation Mondays, where they'll post a quote that kind of sets the tone for the week. And that is quite common. You can also do things like I just went in my notepad and made a little reminder about businesses that self-care is important. And that was instead of the Monday motivation that week, I chose to do that. And lastly, promote your offer. No more than once a week, promote your offer, what you feature, what you want them to know that you sell. And for me, so I have a description of one of my packages as an example here by number 4, but it's not the only way that I do that. Stories is also a great way that you can feature your offer. So some of these things might not occur in your feed, they might be in your stories, and that's okay. Building community. This is, like I stated before, the most important. Clients, customers, people that are on social media are more likely to support you if they have an investment in you, if they feel attached to you. This is why it's so important to show your face. I am not a fan of showing my face in reels, even though I encourage my clients to do so, but I'm okay showing my face in pictures. And so I do that throughout my feed. When you look at my feed, you'll know who I am and you'll see me. I share, so the first photo there was me at my first Paro event. And I shared that as something that I accomplished, and it got a huge feedback. People related to me, they congratulated me, they felt invested in my success, and that built connection. I did get a lot of congratulatory messages like that, and it opened up conversations that could lead to something in the future. Interact on your posts. Don't post in ghost. So don't post something and then leave it, and then people comment and there's no acknowledgement of the comments. At the very least, like the comment, but preferably you're going to comment back to them so that they know that you're listening and they felt heard. Share other users' content and collaborate. If you're a small business, and you're sharing another small business's posts, you're not taking away from your light. Like I like to say to my clients is, your light doesn't shine any less bright if you help another's light shine. So I all the time am sharing posts from other social media managers that I find informative. I share a lot of local small businesses. I also have done collaborations. So when you're on Instagram, they offer you the chance to collaborate on a post. Quite often you'll see a number of businesses working together to promote in a contest. Show that you're working with others. It also exposes you to their audience, which is invaluable. So by collaborating with others, they grow from your audience and you grow from theirs. And be consistent in a way you can manage. So consistency doesn't mean you have to post 5 days a week. It means post in a way that you can handle. For some people, that might be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That is a good starting point for you if you're finding your social media overwhelming. And when you take into play that you don't always have to be selling something, you can simply post a quote and that will count as your post for the day, and it's something that people would interact with. So don't overthink all of your posts. They don't all have to be brilliant. They're just you showing up. Some tips to keep in mind. If I was to recommend one platform to be on, it would easily be Instagram. Why Instagram? Majority of users are on Instagram, and it gives you the benefit of interactive stories. Stories are a great way to keep your audience engaged. You can do polls and ask questions about products you're considering. You can show some behind the scenes that you might not want on your feed, but you still want to share. That helps with people connecting to you. Show yourself. As I said before, I don't like having reels of myself, but I'll talk to my camera and put it on a story knowing that it'll only be there for 24 hours. That's a good first step into showing your face on a reel, and it's really important for people to connect. Choose a posting schedule that works for you. Like I had mentioned before, whatever you find manageable, start with that. If you're able to add more, do so. And this one has been really popular with a lot of my clients, is take advantage of your pets. For some reason, if you show your pet in anything that you do, it's going to get a lot of likes. I used my dog Finn in one of my Tuesday tip posts, and it was the most popular post I've done. And it was just a picture of him. People love pets. If there's a way you can incorporate your pet with your products, whatever you're selling. I worked at a flower shop, and she had her pet with a bouquet of flowers, and we had customers coming in. It's all about the pets. If your pet is in the store, brilliant. Post that your pet is visiting on that day. Give people that connection to you, to your personal home life by showing your pet. You'd be amazed at how much that can make a difference. Reels are very challenging for a lot of companies to do, but remember, reels don't necessarily mean that you have to be on there. For me, a lot of my reels background is just B-roll footage I've taken at Lake Superior, but I put a helpful tip on top of it. I will find music that's trending. How do you know a music is trending? If you look at the bottom of your Instagram post where the music is and you see an arrow that's pointing up, that means it's a trending audio and it's one that you want to use. Quite often when you follow social media management accounts, and I'm not going to say not to, they all have something brilliant to offer. A lot of them will daily post what the trending audio is. If you catch it first thing in the morning, you can hop on that train. And then as people are checking out a trending audio, your post will be listed there. It's a good way to reach out and get new audience members, clients, potential clients to your page. And unplug on your days off. Myself, I'm managing accounts. I manage a number of accounts. My customers and clients know that I am not available Saturdays, Sundays. I will schedule posts for a Sunday night if it's something they request, but they won't be interacted with on their behalf until Monday morning. I really feel it's important for you to have days where you are not responsible for your social media. Sign off, unplug, do something that feeds your spirit and feeds your soul. For me, it's going for a drive, putting on some music, taking in the sights, spending time with my kids, something that is not at all going to have you on your phone. Easier said than done. Sometimes you have to work it into a routine, but it's really rewarding. And it gives you Monday with fresh eyes, which can be a challenging day going back to work, but with fresh eyes, it's really fun to go back on social media and catch up, even if you've just missed the one day. So I believe in you. I think you've got this. Be sure to follow my socials for more, and I'll follow you back. I really, really, really am interested in building community. So my Instagram is Superior Socials TBay. My Facebook is just Superior Socials, and my website is superiorsocials.ca. So that is the end of my slideshow, but I have one really important thing that I want to share with you. So I'm going to stop this share, and I'm going to hop on here. I would like to show you how to make a digital business card. So what you do to make a digital business card is I'm going on my phone here, and I'm going to show you mine actually. So in my wallet, you will see, and it's going to take me a bit to get the screen. Right there's my digital business card. It's right in my wallet. How did I make that? I went to use an app called Blink, BLINQ. And when it looks like the little red square, oh, I was playing around with this earlier. It's not going to show it. It's a little red square and it has an upright B and an upside down B. And that is what you want to hit. And when I hit that and you go in, so when somebody scans, it gives you a QR code to have as your digital business card. When somebody scans it, all of your info shows up. And I apologize, that's not showing up. So here you can see it shows all my info. So what info does it show? It shows my email, it shows all of my social links, it shows my website, and it also gives anyone that scans your card the option to email it to themselves or to automatically add you to their contacts, which happened to me a number of times at the Paro Gala, as I ended up in a lot of people's contacts because they scanned my business card and took advantage of that option. But what's more important is when you scan my card and add me to your contacts, it gives you the link to build your own card. This has been invaluable for me because, truth be told, I'm not the kind of person that can have a piece of paper in my wallet and hand it to you. I'm not that organized as far as my purse goes, but I always have my phone on me. And so some people have their QR code as their screensaver. So as soon as they pull out their phone, it can be scanned. Some people save it to their photos. I'm able to have mine in my Apple Wallet, and it has been really, really useful in situations where I'm having a conversation with somebody and I don't expect it to turn into a business conversation, but it does. And I'm like, here, scan this, and all my info pops up. They can follow my Instagram, they can see my website, they can send me an email. All those things are available on their digital business card. And I really wanted to share that as a step today to encourage you to get a little more digital in a way that's not intimidating. All right, thank you very much. I hope if you have any questions that you reach out to me on any of my socials. I'm very, very happy to be able to help you out in any way that I can. I'll leave the room open for any questions, but I don't believe that there's going to be any right now. So yeah, feel free to send them via email, send them in one of my socials, and I'll be very happy to help you out. Thank you.
Thank you. You made it sound very easy.
It's not, yeah, it's not tricky once you get the digital card going, and social media doesn't have to be hard if you just have a very set way to go about it. Yes, it is. Hi there. It is a very, very good idea to have a digital card. Like I said, it's come in situations where I didn't have paper. It's really been easy for me to have my phone and scan it, and it pops up, and I've gotten actually a client that way. So, and I want to point out too, and something that I didn't mention is you never know who's watching your social media. My biggest client right now, he's in South America, and I'm only talking by him via satellite phone, which is really neat. But my biggest client had never commented or posted, interacted with me in any way. I didn't even realize he was following me, but he messaged me and he said, I've been following along and I really like what you're doing, and I'm wondering if you'd be able to help me out. Don't equate the interactions on your posts with the only people that are watching, because that is not how it is at all. There are a lot of people watching who might just not be brave enough to comment, but are thinking in the back of their head, when I need help with my social media, I know she's there. And that's what happened in this case as well. And also, don't be discouraged. 100 followers, picture 100 people in a room in front of you. 100 people in a room is a lot of people that are getting your message. For me, I'm at 500. I see 5,000, I see 50,000. But for myself, 500 people that are seeing my messages every day, that is really, really important. And it's not to be dismissed. So don't be discouraged if you're starting small. A lot of people see you, more people than you think. Are there any other questions? Thank you, Ivana, very much for your question. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that maybe Amy, if you wanted to just drop your web, or well, your social media or website into the chat there, and that way if anybody wants to or is able to have any or has questions later on that they could kind of connect with you. But I
Yeah,
think this was great.
thanks. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, I'm hearing all these businesses that are failing, and it really breaks my heart. One of my favorite stores yesterday announced that they were closing, and I was really affected by it. So I'm really, really happy to be able to help in any way I can. And my way to be able to help is to give social media tips, because it exposes people to that wider audience. And like I said, you never know who's watching.
Exactly. Or the time that it actually, you know, resonates with them, that they make that connection too, right? It takes time. So
For sure. And let's just think of the flower shop that I referenced earlier. You don't need to buy flowers every day. Pardon me. But if you're exposed to somebody posting about flowers every day, Fuja in Thunder Bay does a really good job of this. She posts bouquets every day. And when I first started using her, it was because I had seen those every day, but it wasn't the first time that I had seen her post. It was over a course of months. And then Mother's Day came, I needed flowers, and she was the one that I ended up getting the flowers from, because I had seen what she can do. And she never felt pushy. Every day she just posted a bouquet. If she ever had a sale, it would be very occasionally she'd post it. But again, it was out there in my mind. And when I needed it, boom, there she was. And she got my business. And still to this day, I support her as much as I can. So don't underestimate the importance of those connections.
right, for sure. That's great. Okay, great. Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate you presenting today and giving us all this information. And we look forward to having you back come the new year.
I would love that. And thank you very much for the opportunity. I really appreciate your help as my coach, Lori. And I do appreciate all the benefits I'm getting from being a member of Pero. It's a really nice sense of community. I enjoyed the gala. That showed me how big of a sense of community it was. And I look forward to continuing to working with you in the future.
Sounds good. We look forward to it too. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of the day.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.